Chapter 34, Broader Plans. While in California in the year 1874, I was given an impressive dream in which was represented the instrumentality of the press in the work of giving the third angel's message to the world. I dreamed that several of the brethren in California were in council, considering the best plan to labor during the coming season. Some thought it wise to shun the large cities and work in the smaller places. My husband was earnestly urging that broader plans be laid and more extended efforts made, which would better compare with the character of our message. Then a young man whom I had frequently seen in my dreams came into the council. He listened with deep interest to the words that were spoken, and then, speaking with deliberation and authoritative confidence, said, "The cities and villages constitute a part of the Lord's vineyard. They must hear the messages of warning. The enemy of truth is making desperate efforts to turn the people from the truth of God to falsehood. You are to sow beside all waters. It may be that you will not at once see the result of your labor, but this should not discourage you. Take Christ as your example. He had many hearers, but few followers. Noah preached for 120 years to the people before the flood. Yet out of the multitudes on the earth at that time, only 8 were saved." The messenger continued, "You are entertaining too limited ideas of the work for this time. You are trying to plan the work so that you can embrace it in your arms. You must take broader views. Your light must not be put under a bushel or under a bed, but on a candlestick, that it may give light to all that are in the house. Your house is the world. The verity and truth of the binding claims of the fourth commandment must be presented in clear lines before the people. Ye are my witnesses. The message will go in power to all parts of the world, to Oregon, to Europe, to Australia, to the islands of the sea, to all nations, tongues, and peoples. Preserve the dignity of the truth. It will grow to large proportions. Many countries are waiting for the advanced light the Lord has for them, and your faith is limited. It is very small. Your conception of the work needs to be greatly enlarged. Oakland, San Francisco, Sacramento, Woodland, and the large cities in the United States must hear the message of truth. Go forward. God will work with great power if you will walk in all humility of mind before Him. It is not faith to talk of impossibilities. Nothing is impossible with God. The light of the binding claims of the law of God is to test and prove the world. In my last vision, I was shown that we should have a part to act in California in extending and confirming the work already commenced. I was shown that missionary labor must be put forth in California, Australia, Oregon, and other territories far more extensively than our people have imagined or ever contemplated and planned. I was shown that we do not at the present time move as fast as the opening providence of God leads the way. I was shown that the present truth might be a power in California if the believers in the message would give no place to the enemy in unbelief and selfishness, but would concentrate their efforts to one object, the upbuilding of the cause of truth. I saw that there would be a paper published upon the Pacific Coast. There would be a health institute established there and a publishing house created. Time is short, and all who believe this message should feel a solemn obligation resting upon them to be disinterested workers, exerting their influence on the right side, and never by word or action be found arrayed against those who are seeking to advance the interests of God's cause. The ideas of our brethren are altogether too narrow. They expect but little. Their faith is too small. A paper published on the Pacific Coast would give strength and influence to the message. The light God has given us isn't worth much to the world unless it can be seen by being presented before them. I declare to you, our vision must be extended. We see things nigh, but not afar off.